Hi everyone, welcome again to the historic Adams house. My name is Tara and I'm the tour coordinator with Deadwood History. We are still currently closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Hopefully we'll be opening soon, and I hope you can join us on a live tour when we do open. But today I wanted to talk to you about a few things that are here in the parlor. I'm going to give you some background information on some of the artifacts in here. Now, W.E. Adams was the third owner of this home, and he sometimes referred to this room, which is normally the parlor, as the music room. The shape of this room gives it really good acoustics, so you can see why there would be musical instruments in here. And one of the items is this beautiful piano. This piano is from the Lion and Healy Company. They were established in 1864, and it was two partners out of Boston that moved to Chicago, and they opened for world-class concert harps. They still handcraft their concert harps today. A factory fire happened in 1879 that temporarily shut them down, and when they reopened, they started producing pianos and organs and other musical instruments for their showroom. The pianos were manufactured in very small numbers so that they could just keep wagon train. So that's pretty cool that they ship stuff like that. Now, I often get the question during regular tours if this piano is still playable. Can we still play it? And the answer is no. The pin board in the piano is cracked, so that leaves it completely out of tune. That being said, we wouldn't really get to touch the piano anyways, because we don't handle any of the artifacts in the house except when they are being cleaned. But wouldn't it be fun to pick out one of the over 100 pieces of sheet music that were also in the collection and just plop it up there and start playing? If you could play, of course. I can't, so I wouldn't be able to do that either. But also, it might have been really fun to attend a concert here at the house. Like what the Adams and the Franklins may have put on for their community. Now we do have another piece of interesting musical instrument here, and this is the Victrola. This is a Victor Victrola, and Victrolas are a fancy piece of equipment here, but they're not quite as rare as some people may think. Between 1906 and 1923, 800 million Victrolas were produced in this kind of form. There were other Victrolas also. There were the kind that ran with a barrel and the needle played on the pieces of metal that stuck out of the plastic. And then there were the kind with the large tone arms like this. Another interesting fact about the Victrola is they don't play vinyl records like what we think of a record today. The records were actually, once they went to flat disc form, made of shellac. And shellac was a much harder compound, and it could take the weight of the tone arm needle. They're very heavy, so a vinyl record would get crushed underneath that. After a while, it would just ruin your record. Now, an interesting fact about shellac is it is partially made up of ground up beetles. So the juice from ground up beetles goes into shellac. I thought that was a little strange when I was doing my research on this. So now, this beautiful piece was purchased by W.E. Adams again, and it is a 1916 Victrola. He had about 80 records in his collection. He liked all kinds of music, jazz, classical, religious. The record that's actually on this player here right now is a record of President Calvin Coolidge welcoming back Charles Lindbergh around the time of the 1927 first transatlantic solo flight. So that's pretty interesting. W.E. Adams was fascinated with technology, and he followed that whole process. And so he has a collection of that on record also. Now, W.E. didn't just like music, he obviously liked art also. This is a picture done by an artist named Stephen Willard. He was an American artist out of California. He was born in California. And he was known for actually black and white photography in the deserts, southern deserts and mountain areas. Now in 1920, he started adding oil paint to the top of certain pictures, and that's where you get this painted picture. So it's not an oil painting per se, but it is a photograph that's hand painted. After Stephen Willard passed away, his daughter donated his collection to the Palm Springs Art Museum in Palm Springs, California, and there are over 16,000 pieces in that collection. So he was quite an artist. The oldest picture dates back to 1904 when he was just 10 years old. So that was pretty interesting also. Some of the other things that he had, other than just pictures like this, were some of his work was turned into postcards. So people might have Stephen Willards around. And there actually are several Stephen Willard prints throughout the house here on the main level. So when we open back up, I hope you will be able to come and do a tour with us and get to see these items up close and personal. But until then, I want to thank you for tuning in and watching today, and I hope you enjoyed our little bit of background. Thank you.